head coach of the Lindenwood Bowling Team, Phil Vida. Thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
And here to talk some Lindenwood bowling on this kind of season preview piece. So first of all, what are your expectations going into this season?
Well, we want to try to do as well as we can at all of our regular season tournaments. We want to get better, and then we want to make a run for the national championship in April.
You've had a pretty deep team the last few seasons. What are your thoughts with returning a lot of those key players?
Well, actually, this is a season where we lost quite a few seniors on both of our men's and women's teams. So we're really going to test our depth this year. But I think our men's program is definitely poised to be as strong as they ever have been. I think our women's team has some key players that are stepping into roles that they may not have been in before. But I think they're learning, and I look for good things as the season progresses.
And then you split the coaching duties up with Coach Lightfoot on the men's side. What are your expectations for the women's team?
Well, like I said before, we have I'm not sure I could say it's a young team. We do have some experienced players. It's a different team than we've had in the last few years. And, our first two tournaments, we're still experimenting, putting lineups together, putting players in different roles and just seeing how they perform. I think we're going to be much better later in the season than we are right now, and I'm happy with our performances so far. We could have done better, but overall pretty solid performances our first two tournaments.
From the tournament one to last week here, you've improved a little bit in the standings there. Does that show that the team is growing?
I think so. Every tournament that you bowl is more experience for your players. You see different things. Sometimes you see the same things over and over again, and you make the proper adjustments. So, yeah, I like the direction that we're going. Do we have room for improvement? Yes, but I like where we are right now.
And some of the highlights of the season, you guys have already played some tough tournaments. And you host the Lions Classic coming up in November, so talk about those expectations.
Well, that's always a fun time of the year. It's nerve-wracking when you try to run any kind of tournament event. Your attention gets split into numerous different ways, trying to actually run the tournament and do all the logistics that are required to make a successful event like that, and then try to also coach well. So that's always a tough time of the year from just the logistics standpoint. But we've been competitive at our own tournament the last few seasons, and I would expect us to be competitive again this year.
Fans have seen probably professional bowling on ESPN. They might have gone bowling a lot themselves. What would you say to fans that haven't experienced a college bowling tournament?
It's something that you have to see. It's definitely different than what you see on TV. It's a lot noisier than what you see on TV. The teams are a lot more full of energy, and there's a little bit more yelling and screaming and cheering. I think it's the difference between individual bowling, which is primarily what you see on the Professional Bowlers Tour, although they have been doing some more team events, team-oriented events in the last year or so. That is truly what collegiate bowling is about, and as a result, I think there's a lot higher energy level. It's a little bit more chaotic to watch as well. A lot of fun.
On the topic of collegiate bowling, you guys have played some hard tournaments so far. It seems like the talent gap is spread pretty wide among those top teams. Is that good for collegiate bowling to have more top teams like that?
I think it's great for collegiate bowling, and everything cycles, it seems like. There's certain teams that have been good for decades, and they continue to be good. There are a lot of new teams that have jumped into the forefront and are being competitive and challenging for tournament victories and challenging for the national title at the end of the season. All of that's good for bowling. Anytime that you have a lot of different teams that have an opportunity to win a national championship, it's great for the sport.
Anything else you want to say about this season and the upcoming tournaments you have?
Really looking forward to it. We've just started our travel season. We have a long way to go this semester, but really looking forward to traveling the rest of the year and seeing how both our men's and women's teams will compete and grow as the season progresses.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the season.
All right. Thank you.